I'm General Bert Stubblebine, and I'm president of the Natural Solutions Foundation.
And I'm Rima Laibow, MD, Natural Solution Foundation's medical director. Here's a brief preview of our new series from our online Health Freedom video library called the Health Freedom News Reports.
The Health Freedom News Reports will soon be available online.
Health Freedom News Reports will keep you up to date on key health freedom issues like compulsory vaccination, mandatory drugging, and of course on our work to address health freedom challenges in pivotal places around the world, such as Codex Alimentarius meetings and in the halls of Congress.
In the last few weeks, for example, we traveled to Germany to report on the Codex Committee dealing with nutrition and special dietary needs.
And we traveled to Washington, D.C. We attended a congressional briefing on children's mental health screening and the compulsory psychiatric medication that often follows that screening. Then we met with key FDA Oversight Committee staff members to discuss the problems of the FDA and how to get it to protect our health better. Because so many of you take the action steps that we recommend, Congress and the FDA are listening to the Natural Solutions Foundation and seeking our advice on legislation to provide solutions.
We've interviewed a devoted mother in New Jersey who turned to natural solutions, totally reversing her son's vaccination-related autism.
As part of the Natural Solutions Foundation's International Decade of Nutrition, we traveled to Panama's mountainous growing region. There, we worked with organic farmers to create a center to help farmers from around the world reclaim chemical-free agriculture so they can prosper while growing the best possible food for their families and their communities.
In the coming weeks, we'll be bringing you video reports from these locations, as well as our upcoming trips to several African countries for more of our Codex meetings and for more of our work with the food growers. Of course, we'll keep you up to date on the health freedom issues closer to home here also.
The Health Freedom News Reports focus on the national and international forces at play that either threaten or protect your health freedom. And they will form part of our upcoming full-length TV documentary on health freedom and the Codex agenda.
We know that the information contained in our Health Freedom News Reports will be useful for you.
We thank you for your past support, because that support has allowed the Natural Solutions Foundation to become the leading voice for health freedom here and abroad. So we urge you to continue your generous tax-deductible donation to the Natural Solutions Foundation and your support of the Health Freedom Video Library Project.
Now here's a preview of the upcoming Health Freedom News Reports.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cologne, local time 8:15 a.m.
We're standing just a few blocks away from the venerable spa hotel, the Steigenberger in Bad Neuenahr. It's a town that people have been coming to for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years in order to find health. The Ahr River runs through the town. The Ahr River is the source of water for very, very important German vineyards. The town is lovely, the architecture is quaint and delightful, the people are friendly. It's a good site for a meeting about health. Codex, on the other hand, isn't about health. The Codex Committee on Nutrition and Foods for Special Dietary Uses will spend 4 days here this week in November deliberating how to set standards that will be identical from one end of the world to the other. But those standards are standards that degrade rather than enhance the safety and the security of food and the health of people who eat that food. Hundreds of people will come together at this meeting for the purpose of making those deliberations The Codex Committee on Nutrition and Foods for Special Dietary Uses met and finally adopted an international gluten-free standard after 10 years of struggle. But it took only 20 minutes to adopt a report on genetically modified plants, which said that they actually produce dangerous unknown substances. This report's analysis is in direct contradiction to the U.S. position that GM plants are identical to natural ones and perfectly safe. The Natural Solutions Foundation is talking with our lawyers right now about how to keep these dangerous plants off your plate. In January 2008, we'll be attending another Codex meeting in Africa, where countries who are opposed to genetically modified food will continue to fight for labeling of imported GM foods despite fierce U.S. opposition.
We continued forging a coalition of health-friendly countries who are eager to adopt pro-health standards by following the Natural Solutions Foundation's Codex two-step process. That means that instead of jeopardizing their people's health via illness-friendly, trade-motivated Codex standards and guidelines, they can adopt pro-health standards and guidelines without the fear of crippling World Trade Organization economic sanctions.
We recently attended a congressional briefing on children's mental health screening and compulsory drugging, which is required by no fewer than 6 federal pieces of legislation. Pediatricians, lawyers, and parents focused on children who are taken away from their families if parents refuse to give them dangerous psychiatric medications on the basis of as little as a 10-minute screening. Then, we educated key staffers regarding the outrageous excesses of the FDA and explained why we need hearings on breaking up the FDA to focus it on our health instead of corporate profits.
Here it comes.
Oh, there he goes.
No!
Oh! Pop up! We met with a formerly autistic child and his determined mom, who finally ignored what conventional medicine advised her to do, that was to institutionalize him, and using natural solutions, she rescued him from the nightmare of vaccine-related autism instead.
And today, that love of reading carried through. He learned to read at the age of 4. He was reading.
I've been reading ever since.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so impressed.
Matter of fact, every single time I get home from school, my parents has to pry me from a book.
Ya, ahora chupar. Clean food is part of the natural solution. So we met with the Panamanian organic growers to work on setting up a teaching farm with their cooperation. Farmers from around the world will be sharing best practices, seed stock, and wisdom on how to return to chemical-free farming assisted by advanced technology. That way, they'll have the economic edge to resist being driven off their land by industrialized agribusiness.
We're working to protect your health freedoms, here and around the world.
The Natural Solutions Foundation team provides a unique service, bringing grassroots and decision makers together via the internet and on the ground.
Please help us to continue this vital work on your behalf with your generous year-end contribution. And here's how to do it.
This is Dr. Rima Laibow
and General Bert Stubblebine saying thank you from the Natural Solutions Foundation.